Bow. Welcome to tonight's special episode of Previously Unsolved Mysteries. In this episode, we will closely examine everything pertaining to maps. We will cover what maps are, where they originated from and whom their creator was, how they morphed over time, starting in 1876, and finally, we will show you a never-before-seen testimony by an alleged scientist who claims he can maybe prove that maps are perhaps of the alien origin. Before we get into what maps are, let's go back in time to the year 1822. Railroad tracks were just discovered. Fire was lit in homes for the first time, and it was then a baby who would change the world as we know it was born. Chris Wilson was the boy's name, and he was born to a prominent man named Owen Wilson, who made his fortune by creating all sorts of assets for the whole world to use and prosper from. But Chris wanted more. Unlike most people, he was not satisfied with mere 12 dungeons or 4 acts. It was then, at just 27 years of age, 3 years shy of 3 decades, which is an auspicious omen, he would discover how to create his first map. Traveling in rail class South Continent to Bow, searching for answers, he stumbled upon something extraordinary. While performing some light excavation, he came across his first artifact, which he would later turn into a real map using science. And the rest, as they say, is history. Real life history. Now let's get into what map actually is. It's typically a circular object with some sort of hieroglyphic writing on one side and off a channel on the back. Inside is a miniature world full of shining, shimmering splendor, very much like a snow globe. Except maps don't have any fake snow or fun little figurines. Instead, it's more like a Hunger Games themed snow globe, where everyone wants to kill you, or like the world of Mad Max, or like Australia, or really anything else but cheery holiday snow globe. For our last segment, we got a call from an alleged scientist who claims to have an irrefutable proof that maps were in fact not created by Chris Wilson, but are of alien origin. We decided to entertain this idea after he revealed to us ancient text that was identified only after he himself used a scroll of identification on it. Here he is, Dr. Shaun Hiralari. I have here, in fact, a signed letter that details the blueprints for a snow globe which remarkably resembles a map. This letter was in the possession of Professor Peaslee, who presented it in front of Congress in 1627. This is over 200 years before Chris Wilson was even born. Therefore, you have to ask yourselves, what is more plausible? One man creating maps by himself in jungle, or was it in fact aliens? Thank you for joining me for tonight's episode, and stay tuned for the next episode of Previously Unsolved Mysteries.